joined by a lovely co-host. This is a collab that I've been wanting to do for a while. We're both Devil May Cry
Okay.
fans. She wanted to explain some of her lore, some of the stuff, and near the end we might uh talk about a partnership comic thing because I pitched the idea. Uh, this there was a lot of technical problems, but while recording this, and that's completely on me, not her, me.
Uh,
Because
okay.
life is not a box of chocolates. So yeah, she will explain like like how she got into the series, is because like I'm more of an OG Devil May Cry fan. She's the fan more of the reboot. So we both kind of bounce of the Devil May Cry. How will you like either one?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, uh, I like the OG Dante. You're like I like reboot. So we kind of
No,
bounce
I
off.
like them both, but I
Yeah.
guess I don't know because with the reboot, they're um no pun intended, they're in limbo right now. So that gives me a lot of room to do. So yeah.
Well, there's definitely pun, and I like it. um, I honestly, there's so much. I know you have a lot of lore and a lot of stuff. And plus, I think like if the people see this in like in a video format, there's like a lot of disjointed footage because of the way we edited it, or I edited it because I am a doofus.
Yeah.
But I will leave when the video
Okay.
actually drops the links to your video where you have like the footage and stuff like that, the full footage for people to watch. I really hope they check out your channel. I'll leave it linked in the description, all that jazz, because
Uh,
I try to be awesome. I try. Keyword try. And also what else? Near the end of the, I guess when we record this, like, because we're recording it separately from the actual video. I will have like I will announce a little thing maybe, because I think it would be cool to do as a comic series. And like I could do a bit of writing and a little bit of art, and like we could like mix together, because you do more traditional art and I've started to
yeah.
do a lot more digital, because like I think it's like we can kind of mix together where the same thing I actually did as like a partner with a friend, because she has done this has been hotel like fan graphic novel type thing, and she pencils inks it, and sometimes I'll take that and like digitally color it.
All right.
So like I kind of we could do like a similar thing, but I will shut the hell up and let you talk about
Okay.
some of your stuff for like the viewers and other stuff. But yeah, might pitch
Okay.
in here and there with the conversation.
All
um,
right. So I guess hi guys. My name's Celeste. Well, you can call me Celeste. That's my user handle. And I guess you want to well, the audience would want to know why I gravitated more towards
the
the
reboot,
reboot version.
yeah,
Um I guess well, one, the obvious reason is that it's now yeah, in limbo. So it's pretty much free for all. And then second, I think is that I don't know. I guess I just gravitated towards the characters a little more, and even the setting, the artistic vision, and sonically, like it's not just the soundtrack from Combi Christ. I think it's because the other half of the music for DMC Devil May Cry was noisier, so they were more um, the ambience. They were
and a
the
little bit of
ambience,
like punk rock
like
type of music.
yes, ambience, metal. Uh,
Hmm.
that's more for Combi Christ. Noisia is more on dubstep, and I believe like there's a lot of they're more on these weirder side of genres in Europe. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just really out of the box, and you know, I'm kind of I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I'm
I kind of like
So
the old music a little bit, and but I liked a little bit of elements from the reboot. There's like the way the world design and stuff. Like I have my gripes with
yes,
it as like an OG fan because like I like the OG series, and there's elements I love about that, and there's also elements I don't like about it. So
okay. Anyway, but I guess okay. I'll also start with how I just decided to do a fan fiction of it. This was actually a collaboration. Like before, I was just doing my own stuff, like my own thing, just doing fan art. And DMC Devil May Cry come out like around January 2013.
I
So I was
believe
only
it was
around. I was
I
just.
think I don't know. It was a
I know
little
it's
bit
around
before.
2013.
Yeah.
It's January around January 2013, and I was actually fresh from college, so I just finished college,
Hmm.
and so I guess I had some free time before having to go be an adult or something, and I
And
guess DMC Devil May
before
Cry
life
was
takes your
my
soul.
last hurrah. What? Sorry.
I said before life takes your soul, being an adult.
Yeah, in some ways, yeah. And
Yes.
you know what? Um, yeah, even before that, like around 2010, so leading up to their release, like that was the last years of my college life and then to adulthood. So I'm basically almost the same age as Reboot Dante. So that's why I think there's some subconscious thing, psychological thing that was going on. Like I wanted to do, just wreck around stuff, just be who I want to be for one last time before. But you know what? Uh,
I think
Fiction is
everybody
just
does.
a way to, yeah, just a way to release your, I don't know, just be yourself for a little while. And yeah, so, but anyway, where was I? Okay, so I started my fan fiction. So after I've experienced the game itself, so around 2013, then I only started to pick up on just doing more and more fan arts around 2015. So like I was just mucking around. Like I didn't like yeah, I was in my day job and then coming back home, just relax and stuff, and then okay, I want to do a little fan art of DMC. And you know what? Also around this time, I think I got contacted with an old schoolmate, and we were in a creative writing class before, and he brought up, it was a long conversation. We were just catching up, and then he brought up about DMC Devil May Cry because we he knows I play games and I know he plays games and stuff like that. But
Mm.
you know, um, he brought up the idea about why don't we just do fan fiction? Just do your fan fiction, I'll do mine, and let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
It's still up, by the way. It's we I was the host. I hosted the account for AO3. So
Might have
it's
to put a link to that in the description of the video. Whenever we drop the video, because like we're recording the audio separately, because it's like I don't have a way because of
okay.
technical crap. So it's like we're just like doing a
Anyway, actually, I just wanted to point out that yeah, it's still up there, but I'm actually very hesitant in sharing that because for
oh
one, he had been at the negative side of it. Like I think I mean we all know, like back in the day before DMC5 came out, the DMC reboot just really rubbed a lot of people
people
wrong.
were so
And
pissed
if
and
you
nobody's
so
like
much
okay. Yeah.
yeah, so if you so much just post anything, this was
I think a lot of people now have kind of like softened up just a little bit. DMC fans have a little bit to the reboot. A lot of DMC fans have softened. So I think like now, I said I think a lot of Devil May Cry fans have softened up a little bit to to the reboot, where it's like not as bad. They can see some aspects
Yeah,
of it
I
that are good, and they're not like tried and true toxic. That honor goes to the Arkham community now.
and-
I'm
oh,
gonna
the
get
Arkham
Arkham
community,
fans
yeah.
pissed at me now. It's like, what did you say, boy? Um,
Oh my god. You
but
know,
no,
I've played the Arkham games myself,
yeah.
so but I've never ventured into the fandom. So is it really that
Well,
rough
no, it's
in
not
there?
toxic because of like it's basically Suicide Squad is like the DMC reboot now. It's like
Oh,
people are
okay.
hating it, no one likes it.
Oh,
There's
the current the current one, the
yeah,
Suicide
like
Squad that just
nobody.
came out. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I mean. It's like a comparison. It's like people do not like it, people hate it. And I'm not saying the Arkham fandom is terrible, but I just in general like they're like no.
Yeah,
And I think it's compounded
yeah.
with the fact that Kevin Conroy died, and rest in peace to that
Ah,
glorious man.
yes.
Uh,
There is that. There is that
um,
tragedy. Yeah.
yeah, and then and how they killed off Batman in the game, and all that. So, but I
Oh,
think in general, I think
okay.
I think a lot of people wouldn't hate on it if you were to reveal like do some stuff like have stuff for it now, especially if we could like make the DMC reboot uh like into like a comic, it would be good. Like just change like taking a lot of stuff, but yeah, I'll continue back to what you're saying. Sorry. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I was around the point. Oh yeah, I was recalling how his experience with just posting stuff about DMC, about generally just fan fiction, really. And then I know he kept deleting some of those stuff because he got bombarded with a lot of negativity. Um,
yeah, I can't blame him.
funny thing though, like funny thing though, like it's mostly on fanfiction.net. I only know two of the most major fanfiction sites at that time. So it was fanfiction.net. So that's mostly where he was. And
Yeah,
at that time, I went on to go to AO3, Archive of Our Own. And the
mm,
difference is night and day. So I just told him that, you know what, I'll be the host account. Just and then send me the stuff, and then I'll post our fan fiction there so
yeah. And
that,
if people
you
hear
don't
me
have to deal
say
with
that, I have a baseball bat, and I'm not afraid to use it.
yeah, so he yeah, but you know what? He still posted the last thing. It was finally our collab thing. So we were collabing um around 2014 to up to 2016 until we decided to delete that very first thing. It was so bad, personally, that fan fiction. And then we decided to just, you know what, come back again and then do a little bit of rewrite. And then this time I told him that, you know what, I have to post it on AO3, not on fanfiction.net, because I also have a fanfiction.net, by the way. I have an account there. And I posted an AU version of the classic DMC. Like, it's a
Yeah.
different take. Like, they're just it's mostly Virgil centric because I like Virgil more actually. But anyways, so
Brother, you and me are two peas in a
anyway,
pod. I love Virgil, but more a little bit than Dante sometimes. I love Dante because personality
yeah, yeah,
wise,
yeah.
I connect with him, but Virgil, yeah, he, he's also a complex, amazing character. Uh, oh,
It's really work on. Oh, it keeps doing that. Like
yeah, it's
it
very
it
weird.
restarts. Okay, should I be worried about
I
that?
hope it'll fix itself. It's really it could be like a connection
Okay.
thing. So I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Connection. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Hold on.
weird
Maybe I'll check
because
my
the way
internet.
we're recording the audio.
Uh, okay. Yeah, yeah, you know what? Our internet's fine, but I guess I don't know. You
Because
know what?
like
It
you're all
sucks
the
here in the
way up
Philippines.
there and I'm down here or wherever, how that would work.
Anyway, yeah. Um. Uh. Anyway, screw it. I'll just keep going. So anyway, I wrote a Virgil centric a fan fiction, and there were some people. It wasn't so bad, but there were some people who kept thinking that I wrote for the reboot version. And then I have to clarify that no, it's not. Like, this is how protective and gatekeepy the DMC fandom was, even,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
I think back then, I think they were very like almost toxic, and like there's fandoms that are still toxic now. Like there's elements of fandoms. Like I'm not gonna sit there and say it was like
yes,
you don't see
definitely.
that nowadays. Like the Spider-Man fandom, there's some elements that are toxic, but like it doesn't apply to everyone. But it applies to like the ones that are like death threats, doxing, BS, all that crap.
Oh my God.
Fuck those people.
Yeah.
Um,
So, okay. So, but anyway, we decided that, okay, I'll host our collab on AO3. But then again, he said that, you know what, just for shits and giggles, I'll still post this collab on my account, like if that's okay with you. And I was like, you know what, it's your death wish, pal,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
just
like
gonna
it's
post it on
just
AO3.
suicide, pretty much. I know that's a terrible dark joke. I don't care. Some people in the video are like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, no, it's okay, it's okay. But yeah, you know what? Um, yeah, he uh okay, so I posted it on AO3 and it was fine. Like, there's a lot of much more welcoming people on AO3 than on fanfiction.net. And I think one of the reasons why that is because in fanfiction.net they don't separate Devil May Cry from DMC Devil May Cry. In AO3 they do. And the thing is, it's very that's much better because if you think about it, they in AO3 and even in fanfiction.net, they separate the main installments of Final Fantasy. So Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2, etc., etc. So, like, if you want to just read Final Fantasy 7, you'll just go to Final Fantasy 7, right? So if you
Yeah,
want to read the reboot, just go to the DMC Devil May Cry fanfiction section. But
yeah,
that's how it works on AO3. But
yeah,
that's not how it is in fanfiction.net. So maybe that kind of factors in on how picky some DMC fans are. Like, I think I personally emailed a fanfiction moderator before, but no one budged. Like, I just suggested this to separate Devil May Cry and DMC Devil May Cry back in 2018, but no one took me seriously. So, whatever.
just like who is this person emailing me? Oh, I don't. I just don't care.
Yeah, like, it's it's such a futile. It felt like a futile effort, but I think it makes sense. Like, I feel like it makes sense. Like, don't you think? Because
To me,
separating them,
I don't understand what the big deal is. But then again, it's like people are really weird, especially back then.
yeah, yeah. That was I made that email around 2018, so yeah, it checks out. That was the era. But anyway, we continued on, and you I was I'm so sorry. I'm just my mind is like jumbled because you
Fine. Plus,
suggested
I'm gonna
it.
be cutting up a lot of audio. Like this probably will be like a very long thing. So it's like I'm There's no need to apologize. You can go as long as you want to. I'm
Okay.
cutting up the audio
Uh,
later, depending on how long it
okay. Okay. Cool.
takes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Thanks. Um, it's funny because you you mentioned wanting to collab and wanting to co-write, co-illustrate and stuff,
Yeah.
and that was almost basically what we were doing before. Uh, we met a long time ago, like in real life, and then most of the collab stuff was online now.
The
And now,
sorry.
yeah,
I don't mean to cut you off. I would say just to clarify, you're talking about another friend, not me. Until like
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying the friend before, not like we
yeah,
haven't met. You know,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
you what? What?
He's cool, you know. But he's kind of moved on.
Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't say like moved on, like let it go, but more like it's fine that you want to still do your own fan thing,
yeah,
and I think he still, you know what, he still actually does. We still talk to each other from time to time. Through Tumblr, it's through Tumblr.
yeah,
it's it's so funny. Like Tumblr is now like not a really big thing, but it's still a really big thing
yeah,
for those, the niche internet people. So that's
yeah.
where we sometimes still talk. That's where we still exchange ideas. Like that's what I use Tumblr mostly, besides
I
reblogging memes.
like I knew it exists, but I'm like an old man. It's like for anything setting up technology wise, it's like either I have to have help or it's like it's gonna take me 3 hours to set it up.
Okay,
Um, it's like
cool.
I'm picking that
Yeah,
old
me too.
for
Yeah,
technology. Man, this is so great. Um,
Okay, so yeah, I just you know yeah, we're still exchanging ideas, but most of the time, because I'm more of the drawing type, so I do write. I still write, but I can't do as much anymore. Most of my time is now my free time is
very
illustrating my ideas.
yeah. I think
But
for me
I
it's like
actually
the opposite. Like I'm always drawing because like and that's like practically my job almost like that you do like a lot of stuff. So it's like I have to I'm like with because I have ADHD and like I'm on the spectrum. Like it's like my brain is on crack constantly. It's like I'm trying to do so many things at once.
okay. Oh man, uh, I I'm undiagnosed, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
I have a lot of sympathy for that, and also like you sound like you have a lot of energy, so that's actually cool. So keep having that energy. It's okay
Yeah.
to have too many things at
Yeah.
once. At least you want to do them. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when I was younger, I was 10 times worse. I was like a little NASCAR, little NASCAR. It's like I just lap my dad. It's like lap one, lap two, lap three. Will you sit down? Will you stop running
Yeah.
5 seconds? Um, but yeah, on like I was going through a lot of like the video clips, which will probably leave in the description and stuff like that, where people can see them, and maybe like you can do like a separate video, you explaining them more in depthly, or maybe we can explain them in like a second collab and all that stuff. Like I was going through like the video clips, and I was like, wow. Like there was like enemy types, characters, and like you had like a full on ideas for like a lot of
Oh,
there's
I can
a
I can
character.
explain them briefly right now. I can
Sure,
explain them
yeah, we
briefly.
do not. Some people will probably see
Is
some
that
of them on
okay?
the screen when we actually air the video, and like it'll be a disjointed mess. But I don't mind. Uh,
Okay.
um, next time it'll probably be a lot more organized because of like a lot of other things. But yeah, have at it. Uh, You have the floor, my lady.
Oh, okay. So I can explain,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 Um. So okay. So we posted our stuff. I hosted it on AO3, and then um like it's a mess. So maybe I'm hesitant to share the AO3 link of the collab before, and
That's
that's actually where I'm basing all of my illustrations, all of our enemy types, and how I'm going to like picture them, how I picture them, and how he was trying to give me more ideas by looking into. I'm also more of the mythology type, and he's actually more on the religious type, religion and biology. So like
it was a perfect
it's
pairing.
a yeah, exactly. I mean, we were both in the creative writing class before, so that's why.
Well,
That we were old schoolmates.
yeah.
So there you go.
I
He's okay. He's fine now. He
think
he's moving on with.
if we ever got like more in depth like with writing like this like a fan comic with the because I like I pitched before I had like an idea. I think like if we were like the biggest inspirations for me when write like coming up with the idea was like Dante's Inferno because of obviously
Oh yeah,
DM,
yeah, yeah. That
DMC.
one. Yeah.
I wanted to, and I think that would be like the first arc storyline of the comic, and we could like do that and like write it and stuff like that. And Dante's Inferno was the biggest inspiration because I was like, okay, let's take that. Thank you. Swipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
that's
might
actually a
be
pretty
something we might
interesting
talk about in like another
game.
collab where maybe we can get like issues out. Maybe we can put them on like a site or something that's not like maybe like one of like I can make. I've been wanting to do a DeviantArt account or something like that, and because like I'm not Kuro the artist, I don't have like my own website, but like
Yeah.
something that
Yeah. Demon art sounds okay. Yeah. But
yeah.
I also have a DeviantArt account. I kind of fell off of the DeviantArt website for some political reasons. But you know what? Whatever. I can go back, be active there. It's fine with me.
It's all right.
But
Everyone falls off of a certain site for a certain reason. I try
yeah,
not to post as on X as much for a lot of reasons. Other than, but the main one is it's a giant damn dumpster fire.
yeah, it's not a good. I I also have Twitter, but more and more I just don't use it much. I don't know. I'm bored. I'm bored.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just like uninstalling it for a couple of days just to save my sanity. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Do it.
but
Ooh.
yeah, you were explaining some of the like the
Oh yeah.
characters and like you have like I saw some of your
Where was
OCs.
I?
You have like a lot of different looks for stuff. Um,
Yes.
all that jazz.
Um.
Even
Yes.
the animation
So
came up with was
we. I was mostly on mythology stuff, but then it kind of overlaps with his some of his research before with religion and then even biology. So okay. So enough of some of the backgrounds. I'll just jump into what we did briefly. So what we did was a sequel. It's basically DMC2. That's what we did. So it's a continuation of where DMC Devil May Cry left off. So it just felt natural for the two of us. Like we said that okay, if we want to make a fan fiction, just why don't we just start from where it ended? Just begin from where it ended, and then we were bouncing off. We actually our very first fanfic collab actually involved with um, jumping forward like years later. But then that's kind of what we felt like was wrong about the first try, so we deleted that one. And now this one, the current one, this is set. It's set in the same universe. It's set in the same setting, time. It's only like so the last time that DMC Devil May Cry left off was that it was a bit ambiguous, right? Like Dante and Kat are the only it's the only two of them left, and Virgil became, like he had his own tragic downfall.
Yeah,
And
as in
so
the DLC, pun intended. Uh,
yeah, yeah, Virgil's downfall.
yeah,
So we were like, okay, so everything is still kind of out there, like it's still open ended. So why don't we just make a sequel where we try to make sense of where they are after that? So we literally just decided to set our new sequel like just a few days later after the events of the first game.
yeah.
So what are they doing now? So basically we kind of pictured Limbo City now that the demons are clearly all over, the human realm. We kind of pictured that it's almost like an apocalyptic kind of scenario, but it's not like an all out, really very bad apocalypse. It's more like the humans are actually just fine. They're actually fending for themselves, but like in the most bloody, very warlike um, kind of perspective. Like there's kind of saying that, okay, so these demons exist. We're gonna lynch almost everyone. We're going to make sure that we have to find humans. Like they're going to try to separate the humans, the good guys, from the bad guys, from the demons. So like
Separate the
the humans
demons.
are like,
It's like if they're demons, we lynch them. We we we
yeah, it's almost like a witch hunt, or they're making their own demon hunts. And I guess, we're kind of left with this kind of moral and ethical dilemma. Like, we kind of question, like, okay, so humans are going to be okay, right? But like, what's the issue here? Like, what are we what are we as humans really doing when we're trying to like segregate or try to like find the like a needle on a haystack, like the evil needle on a haystack. Like what do we do with this demon? Of course, like most humans are gonna answer like, okay, that we just eliminate this demon, right? Because they're the bad guys. Like they've controlled us for years. But then
but there's also
like
demons that are good, and they wouldn't even know that, like Dante, or maybe even
yeah,
anybody else. That like, and that's like the even a bit of a question, even in the OG series.
yeah, exactly. Like because there's Phineas himself. Like he was the one. Like he described himself like a political prisoner. So like not all the demons are like animalistic or like one track minded. So their demons are, I guess, being portrayed in a like nuanced and complicated way, and that's where like both Dante and Kat are trying to figure out like, okay, so we're supposed to be protecting humanity, but like we're both supernatural ourselves. I'm like in Dante's perspective, like I'm a Nephilim. Like uh they're gonna know like my history with the demons. Like what are they gonna do about this? Like I was a wanted man under the demon perspective. But then now they're going to investigate me. Like I don't want that. Like I don't want to be I don't want to be another wanted man on the human's perspective this time. Like I've already done crap. I've already done my time, a lot of crap under them, even though they were controlled by demons. Like humans can be, crappy sometimes.
Yeah,
So
we
like
can be complete
Dante,
and utter dicks.
Yeah. So like that's the kind of like I don't know, moral or even like psychological perspective that Dante's going to have, because he wants to make do with the he wants to make do with his promise, like his own new proclamation that oh he can be a protector for humanity, but like that has a lot of consequences. And then of course there's Cap. He has his new friend. Like of course she's human, but then all the things that she has witnessed, like she represents the best of humanity, but that doesn't mean that, you know, like to another human, like who is she, what is she like, what does she, how is she special against us, like compared to us, like
Yeah.
how do we like, you know, like uh I guess as a human, like with Kat, how is she going to deal with fellow humans themselves, like who didn't understand that the demons were controlling the human world for most of their lifetime. So only a few humans like Cat were the only ones who were like a witness to this supernatural event. Like they were the only ones who knew.
Yeah, and plus the fact you could have an angle of, well, you got I've been seeing this stuff, and you guys treated me like an outcast and a freak, and like I was crazy. But guess what? I'm not. That would be another angle,
Yeah.
something you could go with. Also, I think Dante and Kat would have a very interesting relationship, because near the end they're walking off and he smacks her ass. So it's like, hey,
Oh my
you
god.
flirts with her,
No. I
like,
uh
I tap,
among DMC
I tap.
among among DMC reboot fans, like there's some Dante cat shippers,
Yeah,
but then there are also some Virgil cat shippers. So
it was always.
for me personally, yeah,
I said their shipper is mostly everywhere when it comes to fans.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Personally, for me, I'm neutral because I feel like cat can do better. Like no way,
no,
no,
I
not even Dante.
I think
No.
they would have like I think they would have like a relationship like Nico and what is her name? Freaking Nico and Nero. Basically where it's like
Yeah, exactly.
but like sibling ish kind of in a way. It's very 50-50 where it's like friends with benefits occasionally, but not completely. It's, as is as
No.
that.
No,
Well,
not the benefits.
it's flirtatious,
No.
but sometimes they get drunk.
Just
They because
friends.
they take drinks, she drinks. There's no way. Like just a casual. It's kind of like Penny and Leonard from Big Bang Theory, like the OG series. Like occasionally they would be like they're friends, but sometimes that they would like she would get drunk, hook up, or like basically be done. it's it's
Oh
that's the
no.
best analogy. Uh, dear God.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I feel iffy about that with Kat. I don't know. I'm very protective of her just
I,
just because I just feel like she can do better.
I think it would be kind of like more just less flirty after a while. Like it would be kind of like freaking Chat Noir and Ladybug. It would be flirty, but occasional
Okay.
hit on the ass or something. Dante's a butthead, and that's all it can go. I think maybe they could have
Okay.
tried it. If you write it in, like they tried, like kind of being more romantic, and but like it's like, yeah, let's not. This isn't gonna work. Let's like, we can flirt, we can have fun, but like no. Just to keep winning.
Like
I think that would be that's.
testing the waters and then yeah, testing the waters and then realize that mm, like they're not meant to be.
And plus, like Virgil, like she's still, she's
Oh my
conflicted.
god.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's that too. There's that complication. That's yeah,
I
that's why there's a lot of like Virgil and cat shippers. But I'm staying neutral with that one. Like I feel like cat can do better.
Yes.
Um, and you know what? It's funny thing because we're going back and forth about Dante and Kat's relationship. This is exactly how we were arguing before. Like me, like besides the DMC fandom, I would exchange ideas with my
Yeah.
friend, my former collaborator about this, and we just, he was uh into Dante and Kat before, but I was like, okay, besides just wanting some romance, like there has to be more reason to this, right?
Yes.
And you know what,
That's
we just came to
like
the standstill, like,
conflict and a lot of other things. It has to have like a mixture. I think, like even like Amity and Luce, it didn't start out as lovers. Like there was like they started out like enemies, and Amity was like a bit of a bully, and then like they kind of slowly developed things. Like and this is completely different. Like that's Owl House, but still, you know, that's the best part of like
mm,
relationship.
okay.
But back to what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah. And then it's okay. Uh, we just decided that. Well, I had it my way. Like I said to him that Dante is a philanderer. Like he's been around. He goes around the town, man. Like why would he commit to Cat? There's plenty of fish in the sea, and I think Dante's gonna be a fisherman
Yeah,
anyway.
this is a
So why not?
women centric and ass. Yes.
Yeah, just
That's a
just
terrible
go
joke.
with that. I think like yeah. So he was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I see your point. Let's just make Dante hook up with a lot of hot characters. Make more hot characters. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, we got a deal. No Dante and Cat, but Dante can have hot characters, other hot characters. There you go.
Yeah. He's like, let's
So
make
that's why I
everyone. It's like that scene
yeah
from Hazbin Hotel with Cherry Bomb and Sir Pinchus, where he's trying to get with her, but he's so nervous. He's like, you know what? I'll just fuck everyone, and it's like he's like,
yeah
she's
there
like,
you go.
it's like
That's
that.
that's the energy.
Insert clip. No, kidding, of course. I couldn't find it if I wanted to. But yeah,
So yeah, yep, there you go. So I so Dante and Cat, no, but Dante can go with whoever he wants. But besides that funny thing, you know, we kind of want to depict them in a slightly slice of life before the whole shit hits the fan. So like,
yeah,
um, we want to give like importance to certain characters, like there's the established character like Phineas. So we want to give him a bigger role. So he's like their advisor. And then we were like, when DMC5 came out, we were like, okay, so they did something with Morrison.
yeah.
So
They
why not
changed.
just adopt? Why not just adopt the white Morrison from the anime since they have black Morrison on DMC5 now? So
When you switched him from white to black, and it's like, okay, cool, no problem with that.
okay.
But I also like how they kind of made him like, like he's like has a history. Like I honestly, I think they changed it because like a lot of people didn't really watch too much of the anime, so they really wouldn't pick up on that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was convenient retroactivity right there. But
Yeah, it's like
like us DMC fans were like, we saw that. Like, why did he change? He's suddenly a different ethnicity. Like, but it's no big deal. But
yeah,
I was like, okay, so they changed the continuity, a more human perspective, like a double agent perspective. So there's Phineas, who's more on the complicated demon perspective, and then we needed a complicated human perspective. So that's where Morrison comes in, and he's like a kind of like a John Constantine kind of type.
Like
So he's actually
sing a little bit.
like a like okay, he's a mixture of sorry, like he's a mixture of John Constantine and Commissioner James Gordon from
Yeah,
Batman. So
hell,
he's actually
Van Helsing in there from like the old like regular stuff, not the cartoony one from freaking Hotel Transylvania, but like just like the classic Van Helsing. I think even Hugh Jackman played him, even though that was a
yeah, yeah,
terrible,
yeah,
but still.
yeah, 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 something like that. So we were thinking of like Agent Morrison. So he's a double agent. What we mean by double agent was that he had to work in the in the police system. So basically, he was kind of gradually climbing the ranks just so he could feed information to to another smaller like resistance group besides Virgil's resistance group. So we're still working. We were still working on Virgil's like backstory. Like we wanted to show Virgil's resistance idea was that he stole that from the original resistance group that he had been a part of. So like he took a bunch of the members there and he kind of basically, kind of what's this like did a
So
coup d'état or like a power like a he stole the power and became the leader of a new resistance faction. That's why he had the order. So power tripping, Virgil.
power, ultimate power.
Yeah, yeah, but it's still like it's still just a bunch of bulleted outlines. It's still just on bullet points. So like, oh, Virgil did this, Virgil did that, but we haven't really like made it a solid narrative of it. It's just bullet points. But that's where we're still going. Well, that's where we're still going for. What else? So, oh yeah, with Morrison, so he's a double agent. So he's feeding information to the tinier resistance group, what's left of the crumbs of it, because Virgil, did the order, and we all know what happened to the order. Like he just ditched them like garbage. So
And she's like, "Fuck you
so
guys, I was using your ass."
yeah, yeah, he just used them. It's really it's something like reboot. I kind of understand why people don't like reboot Virgil. I know he's complicated,
Especially like
but
you get to five, and there's like you get from all the games like three is the best, five is like pretty close second. He's not even in two. One, he's
yeah,
taken over for half of it. So it's like
yeah,
if there was to be any way to like take elements from all the games and make it into like a new continuity, like remake the remake, I think that would be that's the what my idea of like doing like um the comic stuff. Like we're like remaking everything, like taking elements from all the canon, rewriting the story of the remake in a way that's better. Fixing Mundus,
yeah.
dear fucking god. That scene,
Oh,
like, when I was
uh,
streaming, I got to the I got to the opening and he's screwing someone. I'm just like, what the
no,
fuck?
no, that scene. Oh no,
I was like, what the fuck? He was.
don't worry.
I was like,
Most of the DMC fandom doesn't like that either.
oh, thank God, I'm not the only. I honestly, if anything, if we
Okay,
were,
but I do. I like that scene. Okay.
oh, of course you are in the minority.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I think I do enjoy Mundus's character here, but I think it still felt fell short as it was coming to the end,
insert
especially when it
insert
comes
insert
to his
this.
boss battle.
Well, yeah,
Like Mundus's boss battle was a little bit of a letdown. So
Well,
like
are
I really was
one
hoping to just
or
smack him.
are we talking about the reboot or the actual one and the
Oh,
DMC?
I was still on the reboot one. Like it,
Oh yeah.
the boss battle was a little bit of a letdown.
Oh,
I
of
was
course.
still on the reboot.
Character, I feel like they could have done so much better. And if we were to rewrite him or remake him, redesign him, there'd be so many elements. I think we would make him kind of like, I would take elements from Azazel from Supernatural, and a lot of
Mm,
other
okay.
like that, like take elements from his classic design from the original DMC. If you want to keep him a business character, cool, but like make him this sneezy, like all like Lex Luthor like character where he's using business or whatever. Like honestly, I wouldn't even do that. I would just make him like this kind of like Azazel like character or Alistair, where he's like
Mm-hmm.
having all the hands in everyone's pockets and all the like making deals. Like he's like this sly type Doctor Facilier type character. Like once he has you, he has you. You're fucked.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. That
like
that.
like very
Yeah.
smart planning
Yeah.
type of character.
Mundus's character in the reboot. It was there. It was for me. It was enjoyable, but it didn't have like enough world building. Like they did a painstakingly good job with the setting, but like
I think
I don't really feel like how influential Mundus is, besides the fact that he took a lot of money. Like,
yeah, but he doesn't even feel like like the he doesn't feel like anything. He just feels like the generic I am a business type character. He feels like multiple characters, like the guy from there was a game I can't think of the name of it. I'll insert the clip or the picture and the video and like put the freaking tag. But like that and other characters, he just feels like a generic. What's it called? He didn't have the same level of whatever the DMC one Mundus had, or even because he doesn't. He's not much in the series. Like he plays a crucial role, but he's not. He's like this in the OG series was like very powerful, but also like was very like conniving, but he was also like he can still get emotional because of like betrayal and like because of Sparta, his hate for him. And yes, he is the catalyst for the series, but I also feel like there's so many elements that I feel like the DMC reboot like said, fuck that, we're not going to use that, we're not going to use that, we're not going to use that, we're just going to use these stereotypes over here. Like, fuck. I personally,
yeah,
if I've been playing a lot of Darksiders, I think Mundus had the same type of feel as Lucifer is. Like he gets mentioned a lot, but when you don't see him, but like when you hear his voice or you see what he's doing, like he's playing, like he's basically conniving everything. Like he's like Lucifer's role in like the entire Darksiders games. Like I know this isn't about Darksiders; it's about Devil May Cry and stuff like that. But he basically is always conniving and always like pulling strings behind the scenes, manipulating everyone, and like using the main characters, so to speak, everybody, and a lot of other characters to do his dirty work. That's the type of
yeah,
character that I feel Mundus should have been portrayed as. That's just me.
yeah. But yeah, because you know what? Um, I don't know how much the Devil May Cry fandom knows, but there there was a lot of hiccups behind the scenes when Ninja Theory was developing this game.
Yes, I know.
Um,
I remember there's like I was watching some interviews and stuff like that. Like originally, I think Ninja Theory wanted to do something more aligned to the OG series. But Capcom was like, no, 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 fuck that, do like your own thing. But then when they did their own thing, the DMC fans hated it. Then Capcom had to re-step in. So it's like pretty much like it's a mixture. It was like a fuck you, fuck you, fuck
yeah,
you, fuck you.
yeah, like it's giving mixed signals. Like, what does a hired developing team supposed to do? Like, what they have to find some kind of balance. And I
Yeah.
guess the question is, did they do it? Were they able to do it? And I guess the answer is a bit of a no. You know, I mean, I personally still like the game. I still personally even love, the characters. But then I know that there's some missing chunks of it. Like there's the vision, but then the payoff is still, not really high up there.
Yeah.
So yeah. So okay. Um, Back to the fan fiction idea that we made that I'm still illustrating to this very day. So we got Phineas, and then we got Morrison, so he's a kind of a double agent. He's also kind of a mentor kind of figure. So we have Phineas being the advisor, advising both Dante and Kat about the demon world, about hell, and how complicated it is. And we have agent I think what's his wait oh we named him Guyan Morrison. So we were not um we were not subtle about our influence. We were influenced by Neil Gaiman a lot. So yeah. If you know the writer Neil Gaiman.
Yes, I do. He did Sandman and a few other series. So yes, he even wrote.
Yeah.
So
So
yes,
yeah.
I'm very familiar with
So
his work.
yeah, we were
Yes,
yes, like Sandman, Coraline, uh, yet to read American Gods though. So anyway, so but we changed it. I changed his name. It can't be Gaiman, dude. We cannot. I was like, dude, we can't make this too obvious. Like I have to give him a different name. We can still keep Gaiman, but it'll be like a middle name. So his full name is now like Mordecai G. Morrison. So MGM. I think I wanted
I'm
a
about
I
to say,
was
why don't you just change it to
sorry, what was
change
that?
it to Neil
What
Molson,
was
keeping the first name, but not the what's it called, like Neil as in for Neil Gaiman, and Morrison because it works better. I just thought
yeah.
about it when
No,
you was using it for the reference for the name. I just thought, oh, why not just? Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt you. Um, but yeah,
no, it's okay. No, we first thought, Gaiman Morrison, but that's too obvious. So I suggested a different name, and we were both looking up a lot of Hebrew culture, Jewish culture, because the Nephilim. This is a monster. This is a Hebrew or Jewish monster, actually, from their mythology. So we were like, okay, let's go that route. Let's look at names with Hebrew or Jewish root. So let's just make this easy and less obvious. So we picked Mordecai. Wait a second. I think I wrote that. I wrote something about Mordecai. Hold on. Mordecai. So I guess we wanted, Mordecai. We wanted Morrison to have more importance because, well, he's not going to be like fully like always a present character, but his support, his information, and to be that yeah, he's a mixture of John Constantine and Commissioner James Gordon from the Batman series. So like yeah, um, I guess he's another human with access to some magic and being able to fight demons in his own way. So like I think we were actually also what was that game with Sebastian Castellanos? What's that horror game? The Evil Within.
Oh,
He works like that. He functions like that. He's kind of like that kind of character.
yeah.
So middle-aged, kind of grumpy but witty uh, character. He can keep up. Is what we're going for. So he's not just an informant.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm still looking for the name. Morrison. Mordecai Morrison. Ugh. Okay.
It's fine.
Wow. It's in my Google Docs, but I can't find it. Why is it that when I needed it the most, technology
Yeah.
won't do stuff for me?
Trust me.
Wait, wait. I think about it. Oh my god. Where is it? Wait, can you see it? Oh, no. You know
I,
what? Here it is. Our entire uh thingamabob. Like, look at that. Like, I just copy pasted all of our notes on a Google Doc. It's
a lot more organized
yeah.
than I. I am very chaotic. Uh,
Okay. So it's nice to know that my way of just copy pasting is a little more organized. It's
always stuff. So it's like if I was to like send you something, it's like gonna be like very hard to read or like very difficult. So it's like that like more than
there you
often
go. Oh my god.
something to make it somewhat easy and try to explain it uh for whatever means. Uh, but yeah,
There you go. Oh my god. Mordecai Guyman Morrison. Yeah, he's the current police commissioner in Limbo City. He got the position because there's demons outside. Okay, now he's in charge. That's basically that's basically it. Like, okay, I'm in charge because I know what's going on. Like, why are there demons outside? Like, wait,
yeah,
why are you why
it's
are you
like
now stepping in?
city all over again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Our small resistance group was the V de Marley. So like we're taking from Devil May Cry 2 because I feel like that installment in the original was just so underused. So like
Yes, heavily.
V de Marley. Yeah. So okay, as one of the V de Marley, Morrison is responsible for the connection between the public and the underground. He's a once low-ranking officer, so even as he worked hard, a promotion was hard to come by. He suspects the police and surveillance are onto his movements, but luckily he mostly kept a clean record and nothing can be pinned on him. He is, oh yeah, he's married to Alice. So yeah, the DMC3 manga, the prequel.
Yes,
So there was an Alice character there. It was like a supernatural, like
it
I
was
don't
a
know.
to deal with a demon that then that cost
Yes,
like she basically. Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
Never
yeah.
finished it off that we never got a third that we were supposed to get a third chapter. We never got it. It pissed me off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was cut short. I don't
Stuff
know what Capcom's deal is.
yeah, someone needs to find that third chapter somehow. Like if there's like any like little art for it, and just like find it and put it online. I
Yeah.
don't care. Like, steal it if you have to, just so we can see it.
Oh my god. We keep rebooting stuff. So he's married to Alice. So this is Morrison. He's married to Alice, with whom they have a daughter, Patricia or Patty, as her nickname. He
Oh,
wears a he wears a blue rose ring, once a cursed ring that spies on him, as Alice was distrustful of him. But it becomes their matrimony ring, and in it she imbues magic that can protect Morrison. He was a tall individual with broad shoulders, hazel eyes, brunette and facial hair flecked with gray, as he's in his middle ages now. He wore a beige blazer underneath a white dress. Okay, just he slung around his crossbody bag and a holstered pistol, gruff voice full of kindness, a type that talked to little children about how bad things happen, sometimes that the worst would pass. There it is. The name Mordecai is of Jewish and Hebrew origin. In the book of Esther, the character Mordecai helps foil the plot of Haman, a king's vizier, to exterminate Jewish people. So Mordecai is celebrated in Purim, a Jewish holiday, as well as recognized as a mythological hero among Persians and Palestinians. So yeah, yeah, that's how important the Mordecai name is. So yeah, that's why we have Mordecai as his name.
Monica. But I also thought
Yeah,
it'd be just like regular show too.
yeah. There's that connotation, that social concept though. Mordecai and Rigby though. We're prepared for that. We're okay with that. You know what? This is fan fiction. Not a
Yeah,
lot of people are going to see this anyway.
cool.
It's not going to be a big publishing thing anyway. We're
Yeah,
just having fun, but we also want it to be very significant to Morrison anyway. Anyway, enough of Morrison. So he's cool. He's a nice double agent, whatever.
I'll
With
figure
tits, whatever.
it back.
So okay, so where was that? Okay, so DMC, our DMC2 sequel is set like just days after the first installment, and Phineas and Morrison have like slightly bigger support role to play, and then yes, we have reboot Trish. So I want to get to that because the reason uh, reboot Trish here is a villain. Okay, like she's not like the other girls. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, no,
She is,
reboot Trish.
and come true. She is a pal.
Okay, her name here is Dante. So she's not named Trish here, but what I think I remember in the fan fiction, uh, my friend wrote a line that was like, you know what, we have to make it obvious that this is Trish, just to spite some fans. Okay, so I was like, no, no, please, let's not do this. But he wrote a line that he managed to defeat Beatrice, and so he was like, huh. So Trish, are all angels redheads? So that's the line right there in the fanfic. So Dante was the one who nicknames her Trish because I think it's common knowledge that Trish is a nickname from Beatrice, right? It's derived from Beatrice. So he's making fun of her basically. But
Hell, he
Beatrice is
Ida or Ida for like as a joke nickname for from the Owl House. It's like short for Ava as well. That'd be a funny little joke, little line. If we ever if if we ever could do, I think if we do this, like taking elements from like your guys' version, all that, and like throwing it into this massive little thing, I think it would be cool.
Sketchbook.
I'm
It would be that far away.
looking for an art piece that I've done or like a comic page, whatever I've been working on, and I can't find fucker. I've oh, excuse me. I have done that crap before, so I know how it is. Um,
Ah, oh, okay. I keep ending up with uh with Virgil. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about Virgil. So I'll skip Beatrice or Trish. Oh, anyway, she's an angel, so we're confirming angels exist in DMC two. In DMC reboot, we're confirming angels exist and they're villains here. Um, like one time, this friend of mine went to Reddit. Uh, Bad move, really. He went to Reddit and went to the Devil May Cry Reddit forum, and then I think he asked if, what if angels exist in the mainline Devil May Cry and they're villains? And immediately he got dumped on. Like nobody wanted that idea.
oh, poor guy, man. Well, the thing is that
Oh yeah.
like I think angels sometimes aren't wouldn't be bad as villains. Like some like for fuck's sakes, I believe that it is. I think it's somewhat confirmed that they are. It's I think in DMC one there's like characters like someone like I think you can
Yeah. Yeah, there's angelic characters there.
yeah.
Is Lucia?
Lundus is kind of portrayed as like an angel like looking character, so it's a little bit ambiguous that there is angels, but there also isn't. So like I wouldn't mind if they're like, you know, bad guys. It's like it works. It works.
It works.
uh,
Okay, so this is who I'm showing. Can can you see? Oh my god.
yes, I can
He
see.
has he only has one arm and he's holding roses.
Hey, look here.
I have a colored version of this, but only the roses. The roses are blue. So
Crystals on this chest reference to death from Darksiders.
oh okay.
I just
Maybe
realized it's like the long hair. I'm like, I think this is interesting. The only difference is it's on the opposite side, but still, I thought that was
okay.
cool.
Okay. This character. Okay, so I brought this up. So back then we were still having difficulty writing with Virgil's backstory. Reboot Virgil's backstory because I think Ninja Theory was trying to give us an interesting concept of a fallen character or a tragic character, but it's still personally, even though I like the DMC reboot, the payoff does, it's a little iffy for me, especially with Virgil's downfall. The DLC was quickly made. Ninja Theory actually didn't plan to have a DLC in the first place, but then a few months later, Capcom had confirmed that there will be a DLC. So like it kind of is sounding like Ninja Theory was told against their will to make a DLC. So
At least they made something for Virgil's DLC. Like Capcom has never. Like, I think the OG DMC series never made anything for Virgil standalone or any of that. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah, I yeah, I guess it's one good thing and some bad things. Like it kind of, you can kind of see the quality in in the Virgil's Downfall DLC, that the quality just dipped a little. Although the gameplay is pretty awesome, like Virgil plays really nice. Like I actually prefer reboot Virgil's moveset over reboot Dante's, so it's weird. But like,
And
I enjoyed,
then Virgil, and you're
yeah,
like, okay, I prefer this.
yeah.
Wow.
Um, so anyway, while we're on the topic of Virgil, and with Capcom, so Capcom has the power to publish things, like, you know, because it's their idea and they can make money off of it. They can publish whatever uh, thing, even if it's cliche. So it's too bad because um, you know there's V, right?
Yes.
And then there's Virgil, right?
Yes. I know.
So so um, with Virgil's downfall, like there were two Virgils there, right? Like,
Sexy. You're
do
going.
you see where
Go with.
we're going with this?
Yes.
Like this guy right here is um like
Go. You're.
he he's the other half.
Uh.
So so Virgil in the DMC, in our DMC2, he's full on a villain right now, but there's something off with him. So he's kind of technically not himself in DMC2
Yeah.
because this guy right here is the reason why. So
Yeah.
this is also Virgil. Do you get what we're going for?
Why I'm going with it. This is interesting. Also, I might be quiet for a bit. I might mute myself so I can go eat breakfast, so I can let you explain
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
go
stuff.
ahead.
But
You know
yeah.
what? Maybe it's time to like just take a short break anyway. Oh my god, the live says it's been over an hour now.
Yeah. It's fine. I
Over
let
an hour. Okay.
you need to.
Okay.
I'm perfect
Uh, let's. Is it okay that we take a break? Yeah. I'll
too.
just
That's
get off and you can do breakfast. Okay. I'm
keep
gonna
my
take my.
because I figure like if I'm quiet and like if I let you explain it, it'd be better and stuff like that.
Okay.
So like
Okay.
I
Wait,
oh,
I'll be quick. Let me just grab something. I'll just grab something, and then I'll explain. I'll just keep on rambling.
it's
Right.
fine.
I'll be off.
Um,
Okay.
I'm still here. Uh,
Okay. I'm I'm back. I guess I can. We can explain ourselves. We can explain why we did this atrocious thing. Why we have this second Virgil. Oh no, he really ripped a new one. Okay, I'm gonna rip my brother a new one. No, Virgil did it on his own. Oh my god, he even ripped his own arm off. And there's roses coming out. I was just being.
oh, let's lend him a hand. I think he
Oh,
can hear.
wait a minute. Oh, excuse me. You know what? Yeah. mini lamp na lang. A small lamp. Yeah, sorry. Just talking to bed, uh, my sibling.
Trust
Oh
me.
wow. Oh wait. Oh no, no lights. Oh right. I needed the lights to show the pictures. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
It's fine.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to survive the light. Maybe have a blanket. You want a blankie? No? Okay. Never mind. Okay. This is Virgil 2. The reason is that we we were inspired by Virgil's downfall, the DLC. Like there's a lot of it going on. It's very like I know that the payoff and its narrative on the DLC was just there's some bits and pieces that just was it looked and sounded like it was hastily put together, but the idea was there. Like it's truly a tragic downfall of the character, and I think it's not my words. Um, I'm part of a DMC reboot Discord, and some people pointed out that like they think that the DMC Virgil's Downfalls DLC kind of is a prototype to Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, if you think about it. Like that was their point. And in a lot of ways, yeah, because Virgil's downfall is pretty much a very surreal and psychological take on his character and where he is now and how his villainy would come to be in a more it's in a more surreal uh, take. It's not as solid. It's not as straightforward, and I think that's really nice that
Yeah.
one of the DMC fans said that it's kind of the inverse of Senua's journey in Hellblade, because in Senua's whole journey, like it doesn't matter if it's real, like what she's going through is real or not. It's real to her. So what Virgil went through in Virgil's downfall, it's pretty real to him. So
Yeah.
whatever he said to his mom's soul, like I think it's kind of like it's agreed that a lot of people are saying that yeah, that is his mom. That he just shit talked on like, oh, I killed your favorite son. Like you don't say that to your mom. Like especially since Eva has always been good to Virgil. But
Yeah.
he doesn't see it that way. Yeah. So with that, I think we want to. It's still in the very like draft phase, but like we wanted to a more like forlorn Virgil, like going through the same like journey, but now in a perspective of someone who's just as broken and just as kind of disappointed and self-loathing. Like there's a lot of self-loathing in Virgil's character in the reboot version.
Yeah.
So like we we wanted to depict that someone who has kind of doubting their
Yeah.
and like I guess like you you know what, as a person, like how do you want to gain power anyway? Like why do you want that? What motivates someone to want to become powerful? And I think we were asking ourselves like,
Yeah.
okay, we want to be powerful because I think we want to become worthy of ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we're kind of self-analyzing ourselves. Like we were asking ourselves, like, okay, like why did the classic Virgil want power? So besides like having like guilt or survivor's guilt that he wasn't able to protect his mom,
I think
like
there's a
what
video that
else?
analyzed him as a character and explained it pretty good. I'd have to probably leave that in a link in the description of the video
Mhm.
after recording or stuff. Like whenever I get the video up, I will say it did glitch for a minute, and now it's like at 1 minute again. So it went from an hour back to what's it called? So who knows? It's stupid. But yeah,
A minute,
at least on my
but
end, does it not weigh on yours?
in my end, it's live, 1 hour, 12
Um,
minutes, and 35 seconds. It's still 1 hour. It's still
it
running.
still says 1 hour on your end, but on mine it loaded and then reset.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's so stupid,
Oh,
but
that's
oh
too
well.
bad. Oh my.
It's fine.
Anyway,
Technical problems. Lumlet.
okay.
Um,
Well, yeah, anyway. So we're asking ourselves, like, I guess we're kind of comparing how far Virgil is in the main line in asking himself. Like, we're thinking, like, if we were in his shoes and we're asking ourselves as Virgil in the mainline continuity, like what are the things he's asking? Like, what's why is it worthy of him to still seek power? What's the end goal, or if there's even an end goal? And you know what? I guess we were like, I guess the end goal was that he kind of wants to like surpass his father. Like there's a lot of like mere character thing with his father. Like
yeah,
it's a mother thing to Dante. Like he wants to like see his humanity, but in some cases like he's having issues with that, but he kind of accepts it. Like he's half demon and half human, and that's fine with him. Whatever, he can deal with it. But with Virgil, like he's trying to kind of assess his uh, demonic side. Like,
yeah,
what's the purpose of him having this demonic side? Like, what else is he supposed to do with this in his life, if not like just make himself, besides being powerful? I think power has to have some kind of use. So he has to be kind of useful or worthy of it, you know? So we're kind of now going back to reboot. Okay, so what's reboot Virgil? So what was he trying to do? Like he was actually already powerful to begin with, not physically. I guess when there was the final boss battle with Dante and Virgil, it's kind of clear that Dante has a more physical upper hand against him. Like whenever we beat Virgil up, Virgil is like thrown around. So now when he's having his own like I don't know, like paradigm shift, like his world has broken down. Like what else was he? What else was Reboot Virgil going for? Like at first, like in the main game, he sounds so sure about his end goal because I think he kind of has the you know I don't want to get too political, but he kind of has that you know monarchy kind of fascist kind of anyway you know
yeah.
kind of ideology because he
V
wants
for
the
Vendetta.
Nephilim race to like rule over the human world just because he thinks that oh they're Nephilim, they're partly demonic, they're partly angelic, like they have both of heaven and hell as as in their DNA, right? So like
Yeah,
he thinks that that makes them special, and being special has to have some kind of use over the human world, right? So if
yeah,
they're this powerful and they must be more useful than these humans, then they should be the rulers over the human world, right? So that's kind of the thing that we when we put ourselves on reboot Virgil's shoes on issues. So like when that paradigm shift was broken, when Dante was, against that, because I think what also broke Virgil was the fact that his own brother was not on board with him at all. Like the almost the entire game when Virgil found Dante and he wanted Dante to be on board with him. And at the end of chapter 2, like after Dante finds his origins, like after he finds out about his family, like okay, so now I got my twin brother to be on board with me. So that means he has to be on board with me to everything, right? So like at the end though, like when Dante opposes his ideas, that kind of shook him, and he lost. So like I think he kind of equated that to like okay, so I lost I lost to my brother, and I lost my brother, and that could that mean that the things that I had been fighting for, the idea that us being leaders over the human world, like does that mean that it's not worth it after all? And I guess throughout the DLC, we're kind of getting the sense that no, he's kind of being stubborn about the ideology that no, his idea was still like correct. Like it's his brother's fault, and it's even Cat's fault. And then he even sees that oh, because I there's some kind of physical disadvantage that my ideology couldn't work. So that means, it's because I couldn't fight for it physically. Therefore, I can't fight for it throughout. So, oh no, then my ideology just sucks. But no, that shouldn't be like right. Like I can't lose to this. I can't lose what I had been working on for years. So like, and he kind of goes to his mother. I guess he's kind of going back to even further to his origins. So this is his origin story, but like kind of backwards or like an inverse to Dante's. So with Virgil, Virgil kind of realizes that okay, where from where I had come from, like from the things that my parents, upheld, like being righteous and stuff like that. Like what if that doesn't matter? What if that doesn't gets me the results that I had wanted? So I think it, we were like, okay, so Virgil has this kind of like ideology that he just can't shake right now. But like, so what? So what if he's going to become the ruler of a new world? Like, what's his like? Again, we were joking like, okay, what's his policies? What's he gonna be president for?
Death! Death to
Yeah,
all! That's my
yeah.
policy! Virgil just shows up with a freaking katana. He's like, off with your heads. Anyone who disagrees with me, Dante, you're first. Cat, you're next.
Oh my God, we get out the guillotine,
Yes. I
the
am now
inverse of the
king of
French
all.
Revolution.
Yes.
Oh my
Just
God.
and anyone else just goes to Dance Revolution. All the big people that drunk all those energy drinks. You shouldn't have drunk those. Now it's time for your ultimate torture. Dance Revolution. You
No,
did
not that.
it. A demonic Dance Revolution screen, and anytime they freaking step on the wrong square or don't get a high enough score, they get stabbed in the foot or something,
I
or
know.
it's getting repeatedly stabbed.
That's a
What
different kind of
what
hell, man.
a way of torturing people.
That's
He's like,
torture
yes, and then he's just
for
like,
his own
and to
for his
anyone
own
else
entertainment.
yeah, and to anyone else who's addicted to the sexual side of things, we're going to pull a freaking what was it? What was that movie called? Seven. How the
Oh
lust
no.
guy person died. That would be so
Ugh.
pieces. Like you have three different like the way of getting your head cut off, the way of die by the die by or freaking dance revolution. What an effed up way
Yeah.
to die. Uh,
Oh, oh my god. That's a different hell. Oh my god. No,
yes, it would be. Yes, it would be. Uh,
yeah.
yes. Um,
Anyway, so that's kind of our idea with Virgil. Like in the end of Virgil's downfall, he was set like, okay, like I really disagree with what my parents and my own twin brother upholds. Like, why are they, protecting humanity for? Like, what else is humanity supposed to serve us? The Nephilim. Like, we're kind of tired, you know? Like, oh
well,
yeah,
after we it's like been
like
extinct. I
yeah,
think if
Dante
we were,
and Virgil are the only Nephilim left. Like, it's
yeah,
just the two of them.
yeah. I think if
Like,
we
what
were
else?
to remake the original game, I think the whole that whole origin segment, that whole origin storyline, that would honestly be the toughest thing that we could rewrite and tweak. Because like when you I went and played the game because you recommended it and I was like, okay, I haven't played this, I've seen it. I struggled a lot with the gameplay. Not a fan. There's some elements of the gameplay that I'm not a fan of, like the way they have the controls set up. But I think that's just because I'm so used
Okay.
to the old. I like the gameplay. I'm not saying I don't like it. Like in, I mean more in the controller sense of how it's presented. Like when you're holding down certain buttons, it's like
Yeah, there is a
something.
lot
Yeah,
on Reboot Dante's, and whereas I think it's a lot smoother with Reboot Virgil's when doing
yeah.
platforming. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and like with the way the
Uh,
weapon, like you have to
Understandable.
hold down this button and do this, and yeah. But in the sense of like rewriting the story of like just the first game, I think like you could take so many elements of like what worked with the first game. I think because like there's a lot of things and there's a lot of things that were cut and there's a lot of stuff, and I think we could like tweak it as like make it like a comic. I think that'd be the perfect thing, and like have it be Dante's like awakening style level of freaking story.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that would be perfect. And plus we can make Sparta and Eva's relationship very more interesting and kind of flesh it out. And I also make Sparta take the elements that made Sparta the legendary Dark Knight from the classic series and not just a baseless demon in a mask. What the
Okay.
fuck? I
Yeah,
I like some
I
elements
think
of the story. I think it just needs tweaked.
yeah,
That's just me.
I think Ninja Theory favored Eva a lot more. Like they had her face and
Yeah,
their artists before. I think Talexi, that's his nickname. Alessandro Taini.
yeah,
So his artwork has kind of defined Ninja Theory most
yeah,
of the time, most of their games, until he had to quit after the first Hellblade. So he had to quit and went on to do
yeah,
more like commission work. Anyway, he's in a different field now, more artistic than just video game concept art.
yeah,
But Alessandro Tahini had kind of defined a lot of their female characters, like a lot of redheads in Ninja
yeah.
Theory. So Eva
He likes
is
redheads. He loves them. I think he has a
yeah.
kink for redheads.
No, no, no. I think it's just color theory because red is very vibrant. So
That's me.
it just makes sense that if they wanted to highlight Eva,
Yeah,
then make her have red hair. It just stands out. Like
yeah,
even when the entire environment and when Limbo shifts into this malicious other world, like it's a lot of reds and blacks. Her red
yeah.
hair still stands out, even in the
A little
portrait, like
bit.
in chapter 2.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
uh, I think they even originally wanted a blue hair for cat, but like they were like, no, let's just make it, brown. In a lot of cats' early concept, she had blue hair. So yeah, a lot of like primary colors,
yeah,
reds, blues. Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway.
and that's kind of like a thing in the even the OG series a little bit too. Um, and this is something I wanted to pitch to you. And if we were to do like remake the original game as like a comic, and something that I was thinking with my influence of like Dante's Inferno, um, I and like the original OG game, and I this is something I wanted to pitch. Is that basically we could have the whole Timide Gru type of thing, but like basically this way we can explore the lore of Sparta, his like some of the more demonic and angel stuff, and like we can twist around the lore a little bit more than the what's it called? Because I think we can introduce the idea of what is it called? Fuck, the in between dimension type of thing. But
Hmm.
I think that like that would be kind of hard to do. But I think like if we were to do anything, it would be a very interesting idea of like mixing together like some of the storylines from all the games and like mixing into one. I actually wanted to do like the seven deadly sins be a part of the game as like you have the take the idea of Virgil being like what's it called and like partially maybe it's a test of something or maybe you can take Virgil out of the game but maybe he's watching Dante and maybe he plays like a lady role where he knows this is going on. He helps when he can, but he stays in the shadow, and it's like a test where like the main like it tests Dante, and like this way you get to like the next book or next series, like the sequel of it, and then you
Okay.
get into like he recruits Dante and stuff like that. So it's like then you get from there to then where Virgil's a villain. So it's like you get like two opposing arcs or like stuff like that where you get more what's it called? And plus where you
Oh,
can
oh
have
wait,
like the biblical and
wait.
stuff.
Uh, when you said so, like Virgil is a villain, but then there's this what Virgil like shadows helping him. So like, are you referring to
Like
this
he's
this
kind of
guy?
like it's not really an antagonist villain, like more like okay, for instance, it sets up his villainy from like he knows this is happening to Dante. Like he basically just doesn't step in like fully to help his brother.
Oh,
He's like he
this
knows
guy.
it's happening. It's kind of like taking his the how it was in 3 where it's like he actually helped Arkham but basically in
Hmm.
taking out of the equation where it's more like this villain it tests like Dante and stuff like that but like Virgil knows that it's happening but he has his own thing against like he basically taking the ability that like something that the reboot set up where Mundus only knows of like one of the Sparta's kin well basically
Yeah.
that's how this game keeps that in canon where it's like, okay, he knows of Dante because of this incident. So you get to the other um book and like we can take influence from like the actual game where like, okay, now he's sending people to hunt Dante and he's been doing it for a while. And that now it's like everything's out too much in the open and stuff like that. If
Okay.
so to speak. So like he's like when I say like Virgil's an antagonist, it's not really in a way of like he set up this whole thing. It's more like he knows it's going on. He's not gonna fucking help him completely. Like he'll help
Okay.
and he's like more in the shadows. But he's more how I would portray Virgil as taking the elements of like him being more cold more calculating, more callous. It's kind of like with if in Barry Allen gets more logical, he loses more of like his humanity in his heart. So if you think of only things like to this equation, or if you're super smart and you're thinking A, B, C, D, and all that stuff, you're not going to think of the humanity or the ideas of things truly in the full context, because then you'll stuff can change when you don't have that type of stuff a part of it. Because people like emotion does play a role. If you follow only logic, then you're fucked. So that's kind of
Okay.
where I think I would tweak his character. Him being an antagonist, sure, but not an antagonist in a broad sense. More like he doesn't do anything to really, solve the problem. It's like he's observing his brother, and his journey through it. Kind of like how Lady has a parallel. I don't know how it's hard to describe, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. We would have to like really brainstorm and think on it. It's something I've been circling around in my head for a while. Um,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Funny thing, because you seem to be like drawing a lot from DMC3, and the thing is,
yeah.
the very reason we made this current, like, we rewrote this collab thing, uh this thing right now, it's actually really based on Devil May Cry 3. Actually, we have plans about Temenigru as well. You know, we have I have Jonathan Arkham. Like, yeah, we have a reboot Arkham as well. We have reboot Lady here. So if Lady is here, then there's also Arkham. So he exists. The tower, the Temenigru Tower exists. Um, I
I
guess,
think it was really fun to do like a comic, like a fan comic series, and see how well it does. Like you can basically redo the first game, tweak the lore, figure out some stuff, and like we could both like co-write it, co-draw it here or there, tweak like the designs you have, and like all that stuff.
yeah,
I think it'd
okay,
be like a really cool project to really do. It's like something I've been wanting to do. Like we can like circulate ideas. Like I can give you like for like the seven deadly sins. Like I thought that would be a bit. I think that would be the perfect place to do them. Is like mixing the mangas with that whole arc with the Timothy Grew, and maybe throw
okay,
in like redesign, like a reworked versions of the characters, like the demons that show up in the tower and stuff like that. Like, maybe even throw in some new ones. But like
yeah,
they would be like the tower would be this big, it would kind of be kind of this very complex thing where each there's be sections where like um a demon or like the big overwhelming demon of a certain section, um you have greed, envy, like there'd be like a watery section with envy, and like Dante would be like it's like he'd be kind of like very he used to be swimming around, and he's like, why didn't mom ever teach me how to
water,
swim? Or stuff like that. We can like mess around with like biblical lore and all that. I think I'll like I like that be I think that be the perfect little project like to co-host, or not really co-host, but like do in general. Like
okay,
remaking the stuff, because there's so many cool ideas you have and vice versa.
yeah.
Um,
Um, Again, you mentioned a lot, like the seven deadly sins. Um, you know, all these waterways. Like, oh my gosh, we, I guess, you know, great minds think alike, but like we kind of have, it's a different journey. I don't know. Um, I guess I should link to you the AO3 collab we did. Like, years ago. Like it's been
Mm,
years now. The last update we made was in 2020. Yeah, like
mm.
on mark on lockdown we just stopped because he had troubles and I had troubles in
Yeah,
our real life. Yeah, but
it happens, you know.
I don't know. Um, because you also mentioned about rewriting DMC Devil May Cry's like its first installment.
Yeah, like
Personally, like
remake it into like a comic and like fixing a lot of the stuff.
okay.
Yeah,
When you say that, are you saying that we have rewrite the rewrite the
it
entire thing, or like
well,
are
like
we
you
just
can rewrite the
adding?
entire thing, as in like rewrite the entire story. Like you can take elements from the basic story, but like I just mean like in general, if we were to do our own universe, taking the same like story elements or stuff like that. Like, because kind of like a fan, like what you're doing. The thing is, when you did the sequel, like the fan made sequel, it was basically to connect with the original game. With this, it's more like, okay, it's its own set universe, and it's like same characters, but we can take influence from everything else and like
Oh,
tweak
oh,
it, like rewrite it
um,
in a way that's more coherent
yeah,
and more easy to understand. Like
uh,
taking the
okay,
shitty elements of the first game and throwing them out in the trash can where the fuck they belong. I'm kidding, of course. Watch it.
okay. Look,
Like
just to
general,
clarify,
yeah,
the yeah, this the fan sequel that we're making, but we're not connecting the DMC reboot universe to the mainline universe. It's still its own universe. We're just making our own, like, wishful thinking that, what if we just make the sequel, like that's it, like we just rebooted the like Trish or
yeah.
Lady. They're just rebooted versions, but they're not continuing from the mainline story.
I think it's
These
kind of
are still
yeah.
in the reboot universe. So anyway, I'm just trying to clarify that
Oh,
we're
it,
not we're
it
not connecting to the mainline universe at all. It's
yeah.
just we're just taking them. We're taking we're just influenced by all of the Devil May Cry franchises.
I think that's
Uh,
kind of what I would think with like rewriting the first game, because like when you said like yo this is like a sequel to the first game, I thought, well, why not remake the first game entirely, because that makes the most sense to do, and like take a lot of influence from a lot of different stuff and throw that in there, and then we can continue like it be like a series, kind of like of like you know mini comics stuff of like telling a certain story. um, but I will let you explain some of the stuff. I'm going to be muted for a second. I'm going to run upstairs and eat me some breakfast.
okay. Yeah. I don't know. Personally, because uh, when we made the when we were making the fan fan made sequel, um, we just thought that, okay, we'll just leave the first installment alone, like the DMC Devil May Cry. We'll just leave it at that, and try to add some of the things that, uh, like I don't think that it's a plot hole that was, because I think DMC Devil May Cry, when Ninja Theory made that, they were kind of hinging on that, okay, maybe there's gonna be a sequel that's gonna be greenlit for this installment, and I think that's more so like both as a kind of a uh, efficient strategy for, in their side narratively, but also in the business side, like if they wanted to hire us again, if Capcom wanted to hire us again, and wanted to greenlight the sequel, then yeah, we'll just, you know, make things, some details, some of the world building details, open for interpretation, so that when we get back to it, if we get back to it, you know, we'll just continue that. We'll just continue explaining that on the sequel. So like, but as we all know, it's not gonna happen. I mean, I don't know how many in the audience know, but Tamim Antoniadis, the co-founder of Ninja Theory, and yeah, co-founder and was CEO. He's now an ex. Uh, he's now the ex CEO of Ninja Theory. He basically left Ninja Theory. I think already a month ago or 2 months ago. Like it just happened this year. He just left. So it's basically saying that you know, yeah, I don't think DMC Devil May Cry Part 2 is ever really gonna happen, because a lot of the things, a lot of the ideas, its direction, it was, co-directed with Hideaki Itsuno on Capcom side and Tamim Antoniadis on Ninja Theory side. But with Itsuno himself already saying that he wants to move on, and Antoniadis himself had already left Ninja Theory Studio. So like, okay, I'm just saying that yeah, DMC2 is never gonna happen. And personally, I've already felt that way a long time ago. So I'm alright with that. But like, I guess I have to say that because um, I guess when we were making this fanfic sequel, we just felt that okay, just out of respect, we're just gonna leave it at that, and we're just going to add our own details and our own interpretation of some of the events that weren't fully like detailed or fleshed out or explained. That even Dante himself, I don't think he knows everything. So like, we were making other characters who can help fill in the gap for the plot and for the other details. So that's why we have, you know what, looking at it, we have a lot of characters. We have, yeah, we have Phineas, and he's supposed to explain the demonic world, and we have Agent Morrison himself, who's supposed to explain to us the human side, the human perspective of what it was like under under demonic rule, being, and Morrison being the few humans who were aware of the demonic influence. It's tough for Morrison having to keep both a low profile but also having to serve another secret underground faction, and having to keep tabs on the activity that Virgil has been doing, and also the fact that Virgil's own backstory is not really fleshed out itself. Like, I remember there was just this short, like, blurb from Ninja Theory saying that he's adopted by a well off family, and that because of Virgil's very high intellect, he was able to, like, get into college and become a millionaire by, was this like inventing some kind of software. And he sold that software off to a company to become a millionaire, and with that money, Virgil funded his own like underground faction, so that he can find answers about himself, and which led to him realizing that he's a Nephilim and that he had a twin brother. So like, that's just like a short blurb or like a paragraph from Ninja Theory, but that's not a lot of details. Even in the and we have the game, there's not a lot of like story details uh, about his past, or yeah, not a lot from Virgil at all. What we have are a lot of subtext and context clues, but not a lot. And then, of course, like how does Mundus or even the demons, like function? Like how do they like what's their hierarchy? Like it's kind of I don't know. We were asking those questions uh, because Ninja Theory kind of a painstaking deal with world building, like with Limbo City, with the demons. But then they didn't quite show the demons how the demons really are. Like besides, how greedy and corrupted they are, how they really think lowly of the humans. But like I guess we when huh, so we were making this fanfic sequel just to not just to fill in the gaps or like open-ended things because we want to fill in the details. And yeah, it's fun that way. It's fun that way for both of us, but also because we were like, you know what? Because we okay, we have a bias. Okay, we already like DMC Devil May Cry, even with its shortcomings. We were like, okay, through the power of fan fiction, we can just make a sequel, and it's through the sequel that we can try to put in some of the details even more. But like, I think in writing, we also kind of realized that you know you don't have to keep telling or showing people too much of the lore of the world building. I guess we have to leave the details up to the audience, but you know it's fun. We just want to keep uh, giving more details into the sequel. Just keep it as a sequel. We just wanted to continue where DMC Devil May Cry left off and just try to put some more, you know, bricks, build build more layers into it, just to have more, just add more characters who can color a little more from their perspective, so that it can overlap or even confirm with Dante's perspective about how it was to survive in Limbo City and how it was for humans like who Cat was the only one uh, who can see the demons and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a lot of OCs, but also we have a lot of like rebooted characters. Like I guess I like when we were rebooting Mary, I uh personally like after I played the game, the first thing the first thing that I thought of was, okay, what's reboot lady gonna be like? Like that was the very first thing like that I have thought of. So like because Lady herself as a character in DMC3, she's already a quite a compelling character. But I think it felt to me personally it felt short because I think that Lady can be more than just her vengeance against her father. I feel like her her love for her mother is something that's another significant part of her that I feel that, you know, the mainline continuity wasn't able to show that, that side, the more humane side of Lady versus just her badass, traits in the mainline continuity. So with the reboot, I we're honestly just gonna call her Mary. Her name is Mary, and I know that the whole nickname about lady and stuff, like that's iconic. But I guess we're not gonna we're not gonna kind of repeat the whole lady thing too much because there's derivative, but then there's also copy pasting, and we don't want to copy paste lady's story into reboot Mary. So with reboot Mary, I guess it was mostly me. I was the one building reboot Mary on my own, and I guess a little back and forth with my old friend about this. And we were basically a little more confident with reboot Mary because I was more uh, I had a more solid ideas with her already. I just haven't been able to put it into practice. But Reboot Mary's backstory basically has a very, almost like an ordinary, like slice of life kind of story. And then suddenly, shit hits the fan because her father destroys everything for murdering her mother. So I I guess the direction that we wanted with Reboot Mary was that we just wanted to show a very human life, like a very almost ordinary life. Like you would think that she lives in somewhere in Limbo City too, but then she just lives almost a very ordinary, almost a very well off life actually. Like Mary Ann here, her mom had divorced Arkham like when she was already like a child, when she was a child. So she has no idea. She doesn't have a lot of like, closeness with her father. But I guess she has some kind of like polite perspective of him. Like she does remember him as someone who's, who was kind of there, but basically was not interested in parenting her. So, but her mother was the one who raised her on her own. Besides the fact that, sometimes there are relatives coming and going and further coloring Mary's experiences. And most of her experiences are very, very ordinary. She just grew up in school with lots of friends. She has niche interests. And Mary herself is just very, very smart and creative. We were actually thinking of, you know, when before Nico Goldstein came out in DMC5, we were thinking like, okay, so like Mary is supposed to be like she was supposed to have invented this bazooka on her own, like she customized this on her own. So like we have to make so that was Lady. So like we're gonna have to make Mary like really, really smart to have been able to do that. So like she's gonna have to be like a bit of an engineer or something. Like, okay. And then, DMC5 came out and there's Nico Goldstein. Like, okay. Like, I
Just
feel
the
like,
idea.
what, like, what, Capcom's,
Got back
Capcom's
and started listening for a little
spying
bit.
on our Google Docs. I think, I think
Yeah, I got
Capcom was spying on our Google Docs.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
that
God.
meeting came back and saw it. I was listening for a bit. Plus, I came back and I was like, interesting. Plus, my freaking it gave me like a notification, like battery warning, 10%. I'm like, ah, shit. Damn it.
You know what? Yeah, it's almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot of audio editing I'm gonna have to do.
oh no.
Oh yes, it's fine. Trust me, it's fine. I'll have to like cut up some stuff and figure out okay, what am I gonna throw in? What are we gonna? And I might like even make a separate video with like half of like cut up a few things, but like just like the conversations we have and like just like a more podcast type format where like we
All right. I get it.
that'd be interesting for like a secondary thing. Uh,
Okay.
but
Okay.
also, on a whim, like if we were to do like since you have the my we could still do like comic thing. I like you can like we can partially draw it both of us like
Okay.
you
Okay.
and then like also write it a bit. I personally what we could do for like just like if you just like see how well it does. Like if we were to like we come up like we write the first set like the first issue like we just like okay we decide okay what how many pages like because we don't want to do too many but we want it to
Yeah.
be enough to where it's like okay A B C D stuff like that and then we can upload like a not really upload but like have like a full what's called it's kind of like the ink tank just to pull up like a peer of reference for like it be like a webtoon like mixture thing. Like maybe we can even like mix together our styles where like like I do more digital stuff and you do more traditional. So it's like try to find like a balance of like do stuff like for the ink tank just to pull this up so you can see what I mean. If my this other phone will load, fuck.
Okay.
Fuck.
Nah, I can wait.
Yeah, it's I have the I have two phones because I upgraded because this one was like running low on space and other stuff and I was like going bad so I was like okay dad was like okay well not only will I get you a new tablet for your birthday we'll get you a new phone too. Plus the plan that we had was like dog shit so it's like okay fuck it let's um so what was it where is it where is it god damn it fudge. Come on. Hold on. 5YL. There it is. Okay, let's put 5YL. Let's see. Read by chapter. Okay. So it's like a chapter based thing where we could do it like how they do it. Like this is there's one chapter and let's see. Like there's one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 57 pages for the well no well, it says 57 but it's not it can't be because I remember it ends maybe it is 57 pages shit 57 pages for like the first no no I call bullshit because I remember no maybe it is I don't know well because of the episode format I take that back but like I guess it's like 57 pages per chapter.
Right.
And
Well,
someone
okay.
replied as a clown because I on Twitter because I said because they put this little thing about clowns and I hate clowns, but basically
Okay.
I hate clowns. Fuck them. I have me and my adopted dad are the same way. Fuck clowns. But yeah, like where it's like per chapter it'd be like a certain amount of pages. So
Okay.
basically, that'd be something like we can like mix together our styles and like um like write we would have to like co-write like the stuff because like if we were to like come up with a chapter based system hold on let me go back to chapter select real quick um it's slow as fuck so like you have uh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 like he can keep going but like it would be like a chapter based thing and we can
Okay.
kind of like we would have to like nail down an idea of like the story the action the characters and
Yeah.
stuff like that
Hmm.
uh and I think that would be like an interesting challenge like where I can send you like a rough pencil thing and I this fucking
Oh
clowns.
no,
I hate clowns. I hate them.
corresponded with another clown, huh?
Yeah, fuck. Oh, yeah, no. What was it? Uh, but yeah, like that would be really something interesting to do.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Before that, um, I need to send you the link um on AO3 so that
Yeah, sure.
I guess you can get an idea of what we were going for, and
Yeah,
then I guess I could, we were supposed to exchange, Gmail, yeah, Gmail. So like I could also send you a Google Doc like
yeah.
of basically what we had been like brainstorming, and I had to like copy paste it into one like master paper or master doc. We
So,
have several. We still have
um,
several documents. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Plus,
I
like
mean,
with my digital art style, where I've kind of been changing things up, like this thing I did with whatever it's called, freaking Dark Siders. Like some of that stuff, I'm like been doing a more like painterly mixture of digital. So
yeah.
it's like you can kind of like try to find a balance in art style and also like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Now I